everybody, it's Tess here again for another episode of Nailed. And today I'm going to talk about my Konad plates, which ones are my favorites, which ones I think maybe aren't worth your money, which designs are really hard to use, things like that. So, first of all, I believe it is this stamp, M2, or this plate, that comes with most of the kits, and that's what came with mine. Basically what's on it are 4 different types of flowers, some sort of little dog animal thing, 2 hearts and the word love, and then I think a lame attempt at some sort of animal print or something. I'm not really in love with this stamp. Some of the flowers are kind of cute, but overall I could do without it. I wouldn't be sad if it was lost forever. Let's see, my second least favorite, I'm kind of building up here, is probably M5. I bought this one for the sole purpose of a dragonfly stamp. There are other things on here. There's kind of like a little candelabra, once again, 3 different, like kind of a rose on a stem, 3 little kind of swipey slash things, some sort of star shapes. Overall, like I said, the only reason I bought it was for the dragonfly. And the dragonfly is really cute, and I'm glad I bought it for that. But as far as, liking the whole thing, it's, 1 out of 7 stamps. So that's not a really high rated one. Maybe I'm going to try to force myself to come up with something from those other ones, but we'll see. Let's see, my next favorite. It's kind of hard to say. Okay, I'm gonna go with this. And this is M45. And it is all for tips. And it's a really great idea, and I still do like it, but they're kind of challenging. I do really well. I'm right-handed, so I do really well on my left hand. They're all aligned and they look nice. But when I'm trying to stamp onto my right hand, sometimes I don't get them level across my finger. They end up kind of angled and it looks goofy, so there is a challenge to these particular stamps. I do like the options on here. The polka dot's my favorite. There's one that I'm going to use for 4th of July. I'm saving it because it's stars and stripes and it's going to be a double color. I'll have to use blue and red. There's an kind of a weird animal print cracked pavement, I don't know how to describe it one. I haven't used that one yet. We'll see. This one in the middle is kind of a plaid crisscrossy look. There is one that looks a lot like the lace or fishnet. And let's see, the last one is just a solid with kind of a slice through it. I'm not really in love with that one. If I'm going to do solid, I want a solid. So that one's neat. I like it, but I think it's just a little bit less useful than maybe the full stamp ones. Now, this is where it gets kind of tricky deciding which ones I like best. Okay, we're going to go with this one. M60. It's got some really great stuff on it. The polka dots, once again, are my favorite. The next probably is the Argyle, I believe it's called. There you go, you can see it a little bit better. The plaid, I did a little review of that. It's really hard to use, very frustrating, and I haven't really tried the flower one. I don't know why, I just haven't been inspired. So what's neat is these little flowers on the edge match this swirly flower design, and of course when you go to the website you can see these ones better. I'm just kind of giving you a review of what I like or don't like. The polka dots I find really easy to use. I never have problems with those. The plaid's really hard. The Argyle is slightly challenging, but when you do it right it looks great. My next favorite is this one, M63, and it has the houndstooth, which looks great. I really love that one. The ribbony one, which isn't my favorite, but it's delicate and a lot of people like it. There's this weird little squares one I have never used. It doesn't even appeal to me. The swirly one I've used, really loved it, thought it looked awesome, yay. And of course the little goofy flame thing, which I am inspired by. And so I really have to say that I really love 3 out of the 5 things on here, and I've used 4 out of the 5. So this is a pretty good one. Once again, that's M63. And last but definitely not least, the ever popular M57. I know a lot of people have talked about this one just because of its versatility. It's got the zebra, it's got the cheetah, the lace, the flowers, and then there's 2 different little lacy tip kind of stripe things. It's just, I think most people want like the zebra and the leopard and the flowers. I mean, it's just such a great one. I've used all of the designs on this more than once. You can see all the scrape marks on my plate for how much I've used it. It's just a great one I think everybody should have, unless you're not into animal print, and then it might be kind of useless. But the lace really is great for everybody. So some tips and tricks. The little scraper that Konad gives you, I don't use that. It scraped up my plates. I also didn't feel that it really did the job as good as it should, and so I use, now this is for like adults approved, whatever. I actually use a razor. This looks really horrible because I have this in a little dish on my desk because I pour my nail polish remover in this, just kind of like they do at nail salons. They've got a little glass dish and they put their remover in there, or their acetone, and I use that to dip my Q-tips in, whatever. But I usually have a case on these. Of course, adult supervision. I do not condone everyone using a razor. You know, obviously if you're an adult, you can make that decision for yourself, but I would say anybody living with their parents, any teenagers, do not use a razor. The Konad thing will work just fine. I'm just neurotic and think I need to use it. Let's see some other tips and tricks. Some of the designs that are more delicate, I find that when you stamp down with your little stampy, if you just twist a little bit, it seems to grab it a little more. I do file mine every once in a while, especially on the more delicate designs. If you file it sort of, just kind of scrape, scrape, scrape a little bit every maybe 3 stamps, it really does help. I don't have the other double-sided stamper because I've been able to do things with this. Oh, the little plastic things that your discs come in, your plates. I keep them, and I encourage everybody to keep them because I put them back in here because these plates, while they are strong and, you know, they're stainless steel or whatever, they still can scratch, you know, and if you have them in like a case or a drawer or a bag or whatever, you know, you've spent however much money on each plate. Whoa, totally dropped that. You don't want to scratch them up. If they're rubbing against each other and you've got your favorite design, you get a big old scuff through it or whatever. You just don't want that to happen. So I keep mine in all the little packages they come in. The little sticky thing has stayed sticky. It keeps them nice and clean, and that's all I have for you as far as the Konad stamping tip. That's all I have right now. I'm sure I'll come up with something later, but I hope this helps somebody, and I'd love to see any of your neat designs you've done, anything spectacular and interesting. I'm hoping to maybe have a contest later on after I've gotten some more designs done that are a little more tricky. Maybe I've kind of been staying very simple, but I'm ready to move on and maybe do some avant-garde, maybe some multiple colors, things like that. So talk to you guys later. Much love. Adrenaline moving through